Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to another edition of Adesope Live, the official Afrobeats podcast, where we break down the hottest topics in the culture. And of course, we have some one-on-one chats in the building with superstar guests. As always, thank you very much for subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. We appreciate the support. Keep that going. And this was brought to you by, of course, the Energy God. Drink and be yourself, as we say here in the Afro Media Studios. Joining me all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, a son of the world now. He's been in the UK, he's been in Atlanta, he's been in LA. He's enjoying superstardom on a different level. Some know him as Reedy McCool. Other people know him as Pheelz, the producer. To the new fans, Mr. Finesse, what's going on? Listen, you're shining, brother.
Oh man, appreciate it.
This is not the Pheelz that we've known for a decade. This is a new and improved Pheelz. First of all, how are you doing? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling blessed though. I'm cold, but it's going.
Listen, for a lot of people, for over a decade, who we know as Pheelz is nothing but a producer. Somebody that's making music, that's creating in the background, and all of a sudden you've kind of put a different cap on now.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the producer. I read somewhere that you probably got in the studio with the legendary ID Cabasa as a teenager.
Yeah.
Talk to me about
that was a crazy one because it happened with my dad's friend, Maye Hunter. He sang Ekaite Bele. Yeah, that many years ago. So he was friends with my dad. So he came to the house one time, and me, I'd already been, producing for church and writing songs for church. So I had a CD of like 20 beats that I burnt. I just made. And when he came to the house, and my dad now told me, my man calling. I'm like, hey. So I just went to meet him. I'm like, I'm not producer. and like Omo Daddy. So like, Omo Daddy producer. Okay. Let's So on the way to like his house, when he left my dad's house, he was listening to it in the car, and I think he linked up with ID Cabasa, and he played it for ID Cabasa. Wow. And ID Cabasa was like, that he's looking for an intern that I sound really dope. I think then I was what, like 12.
What?
Yeah. and he linked me up with ID Cabasa, and I met ID Cabasa, and man, like that was how it just started
from there. Yeah. You mentioned that you'd already been making music in the church and producing a little bit in the church and stuff like that. How did that one start?
Man, that one was like a very healthy part of my life, because even while I was still producing, like early on in my career when I made all the festivals and the showcase and
smash hits for Olamide Bado, in case you don't know.
Yeah, I was still in church. I was the choir master of church, actually.
Wow.
So I was the choir master when I was 15 up until I was 24.
And the people, because choir master position is like a big dog position.
Yeah, big dog.
People, did they take orders from a 15-year-old?
Yeah, because the 15-year-old knew what he was doing.
Talk that talk.
Yeah, man. I'd been taking the church in like praise and worship from like 15, 14, down into my early 20s, even while I was, making all the tracks and all the hits. And so, church music has always been like, because church was like my playing ground. It gave me a lot of space to experiment. And the fun fact, the turn up intro, I came up with that in a sermon, because I was playing while the pastor was preaching. I was playing with the Tupac changes. And then for some reason I just flipped it to, and I recorded it on my phone. Then when I got to the studio, I made turn up, and that was it.
No way.
Yeah.
At that time, especially when you were in church with the choir, making music, leading the choir, did you ever think that was your goal to make pop music, gospel music, to be music as a whole, or you were just passing through?
I think as a child, my goal has just been to create, because like now I've come to realize what that was, but then it was just a very strong urge to just create, and it wasn't just music. I was deep into drawing. I was editing videos and shooting movies for church.
Wow.
I was literally my brother and I would control the creative direction of the service. So we're literally making shows. We're literally running shows while in church. We'll do the lights. We'll get tin cans and make homemade lights with some carpenters and some electricians, and then connect them to dimmer switch so we can control the mood. And it was a whole the childhood is crazy. But yeah. So and even up till now, I still have all those passion to create, because down from the Olik,
That's what I wanted to say. One of the interesting parts was when you had come for one of Olamide's concerts, and during rehearsal, Olamide was just sitting down and music and stuff, and I saw you were sat on the ground, you had your laptop on, and you were directing everything, and I kind of asked and said, what's going on here? And they told me, not only are you the one producing the music, but you're also the one that's directing the show, controlling the lights, controlling. How has that been, mixing all of the music and, of course, these other creative elements into the business?
Oh man, that has always been my dream as a whole, because I feel like I'm not just an artist, I'm a full conglomerate. That's how I see myself. I'm a whole collective. And that's how I've always been. That's how I've always moved. The world hasn't just woken up to a lot of other sides of me, but they are there. So I've always even down to the album art. For example, in Your Mayweather, I designed the cover of the art, and singles like Bobo, and I can't even remember everything, man.
That's a lot.
Even down from Coded Tunes days, from Rhapsody, and I used to design for.
Did you know that was Did you know that was a huge business, part of the industry, or was that almost passion?
It was passion. It was all passion. Nothing started like business for me. That's the truth. And even till now, I still try as much as possible to reduce the thought of business for me, because I feel like that sometimes kills passion if you're not careful.
Facts.
So yeah, for me, the passion will always and forever come first. And yeah, man, and all these gifts are gifts that I haven't thrown away. They are gifts that I still utilize till today. Even first, Demola, he shoots all my videos and stuff. I'm always on his neck on how he's gonna edit it, and we always edit it together and plan the videos. And my lyric videos, the Finesse lyric video with the animation, and I make all that myself.
No way.
Yeah, from scratch. Literally,
you're
scratch.
Gonna be one of the hardest people to work for.
Yeah, I think I am actually. I think I am, man. Because I'm hands-on on all my creativity, all my artwork, from Finesse to Electricity to Hear Me Out. I make all my artwork myself. Make all my lyric videos myself, from Somebody to Wayward Girl. I mean, you can check my YouTube page. That's
crazy.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about getting into the studio with ID Cabasa.
Yeah.
There was a young artist by the name Olamide in that studio as well. Both of you kind of growing up together, and this synergy crossed, and you started creating music together. Talk to me about that musical relationship and the artistic relationship, the friendship outside of music that you have with Olamide.
Man, Olamide, the journey with Olamide was crazy. And it was fun as well, because music really, created a bond between us, and the hunger for, to be heard and to succeed. Because, we saw the nice phase, and in the Alakbo Meji.
You saw the success.
And all the Seriki and Banky W, and so we would always aspire to be that. Because again, for me, coming from Ojo, I had a vision board in my room that I had. My dad. I think my dad kept it. Actually, I need to ask him. I think he kept it. But I had pictures of people I would like to meet I don't know when, but I just had that, and I would just stare at it before I sleep, and that would be the first thing I see when I wake up.
Who were some of the people on that board?
ID Cabasa was the biggest picture on that board, and I'm not joking. The biggest picture on that board was ID Cabasa, and that was the first person I met. I guess that's why. But and every single person on that board, like, I've ticked, off. But yeah, fast forward to Olamide, it was a beautiful relationship, man. Like, we were the, for lack of a better word, the studio rats. Where the
go and get that drink, get us food.
Yeah.
Do anything just to have access.
Yeah, because I literally stole Cabasa's password at some point, so we could work on Cabasa's computer.
Wow.
So when Cabasa leaves the studio, we would put money together, buy fuel. I would log into the laptop, and then we would work.
Put on the generator.
I'll put it on a memory card and delete it off.
So he didn't know that you guys worked.
He didn't know that.
Well, ID Cabasa, now you know.
Yeah, man, crazy, man, crazy times.
What are some of, because you produce so much music with Olamide, I think there was an album that I saw where there was only one song on there that you didn't produce.
Yeah, I think that's the Baddest Guy Ever Leaving.
Baddest Guy Ever Leaving. I'm like, you produced so much music with that guy. Talk to me about specific songs that pop in your head and interesting stories around that. You talked about Turn Up There.
Yeah.
Just moments that you guys didn't know what you were doing, but it went on to become like massive.
To be honest, yeah, like I feel like the way Olamide and I always worked was just the music first. Like we would always expand barriers. Like regardless of the language it was in, like the music is universal.
Facts.
And if you listen to that, you can, that's a testimony.
Facts.
But yeah, like songs that will pop into my head would be, for example, there's Bado Love that we started in his room with my laptop and just one small dead ass speaker, or the whole YBNL album, man, or like BGL. We made like 90% of BGL with a plastic table and a laptop and home theater system.
That's mad.
Yeah, man, crazy memories, man. Drosoke, I made the beat for Drosoke in Omole Estate. And I originally made the beat for Drosoke for Terry Akpala.
No way!
Yeah. But he wasn't feeling it. I think that was he wasn't really feeling the beat. and I'm like, and then I played it for Bado, and it was like, yeah, we figured it out for sure.
That's another thing I wanted to ask you. You've been producing since 2012, earlier. And every year since then, you've always been nominated for Best Producer Award and Best Producer. You lose out here, you lose out there, you lose out. But you had so many hits, not only with Olamide, you had the likes of Adekunle, you had all these people you were working with. Did you feel secretly that you weren't getting your just dues?
Because when I come to interviews, and when I come to podcasts, I think it is really important to be human. I think it is very, very important to be human. So you leave the footprints on the sand for the people coming, and
Facts.
And whoever is feeling that way knows that someone else felt that way, and you're not alien to it.
Facts.
So being a young boy, making your first hit at 16, and making numerous hits after that, and constantly being overlooked as always just that small boy that is just working with Olamide. Yeah, it got to me like early on, I wouldn't lie, but like if there's one thing that has always saved me, it has been books and reading. And like reading saves me a lot, and like I had to like learn to detach my self-worth from there's a line I wrote in a song on my album that says, "Man, it's self-reward, it no depend on acceptance of any concon. Just like Teletubbies, every human come in different colors. Life has been a movie since I stopped directing and became the actor." Wow. Yeah, so like, so that's me talking deep about that phase in my life. Yeah, like I just learned how to like detach my self-worth from people's acceptance, and I just made the music.
Listen, you and I have had conversations for years.
Yeah.
You sent me music that you were producing and singing on that a lot of people never heard. I remember having a conversation with you at the time, and I said, like, you know, this music sounds incredible. Like, why aren't you putting it out as your song? And you told me that, you know, in clear terms, that people didn't believe in your singing ability.
Yeah.
You've always been singing.
Always.
So why was that the hardest thing to accept from Pheelz, the producer?
I don't know, man. Like I had always been singing from the days of Festival. Like my first placement ever was a song featuring Pheelz. It's called "I'm Going In." It's on the Rhapsody album by Olamide.
Wow.
That's my first introduction to the world as Pheelz. But like for some reason, the world just slept on that for a while, man. And yeah, like I'd always been singing, man. Like I'd always, even down to Festival. Like there's my vocals on Festival and every other song I've produced, down to Melo Melo, down to Drosoke, down to Talk, Drosoke, down to all that. Like I'd always been singing on every single song. But
was that also partly because you didn't share that with the world? Because a lot of people didn't know that a lot of the backing vocals was you, and not only on Olamide records, on other people's records too.
Yeah, on all the songs I've produced, literally.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, man, to be honest. I mean, like, it's a couple of things. I was young. To be really honest, I didn't care. To be very honest, I just wanted to make music. Like, for me, the joy was, I made this, it's a hit, everybody loves it.
Let's move on.
Let's move on. Like, that was it. And, you know, I had like the team. I was, rolling with the YBNL clique, and like, it was a family, and I was just like, okay, yeah, this is
we're winning.
We're winning. We're going.
Let's
so I never really cared about like, or what does this person think, or if this person thinks I'm the one that did that. For me, it's about the music. Is the music winning? The music is winning. Let's go on to the next. Yeah.
You've, apart from the YBNL team, which you successfully had massive hits with, you've gone on to produce incredible records with other artists. You had The Billionaire with Tenny, you've had Shay, you've had Dare was another artist that spoke in incredible terms when he wasn't around you. He almost spoke as if Pheelz could do everything. So if Dare spoke about, whenever he spoke about you, it was almost like, yo, listen, Pheelz, he's a genius with music and he will do anything. What is, from producing rap to Afrobeats and then working with someone like a Dare, who is like a soul R&B singer, do you have a different level to produce or work with these people, or is it the same mindset and it's whatever comes out? Or do you go into the studio like, yo, we're working with a singer today, so it has to be completely different?
Yeah, it's a different mindset every single session. I believe a lot in energy. Yeah, I think like for me, it's just, I just put myself in different spaces for different artists and different sounds that I'm trying to get. For the Dare project, it's crazy because I think I wrote all the songs that I produced on that project, and we just made amazing music.
That's crazy.
Together, it's fire. Shout out to Dare, man. That's broski for sure. Yeah, man. Like I just put myself in a different box every single time and every single session, and then it also depends on the energy I'm sharing with the artist I'm working with. Because I think that is very important and very, overlooked in the industry. The energy with the artist you're working with is really important. There has to be a level of friendship before creative source can pop. Like, that is so important to me. But I put myself in, for sure.
Apart from that, another artist that has been incredible in the last couple of years, it's very rare for people to come with debut albums that become classics. I think this artist has done that and joined a few collection of artists. His name is Fireboy.
Oh, yeah.
And that classic album has the Pheelz sauce right all over that. How many records did you produce on the album?
Man, how many records actually? I can't remember.
You probably produce about 80% or 90%.
Chomsy, let me like, sometimes I listen to some songs and I tell my God, I'm like, when did I produce this song? I know I was one that produced, but I actually can't remember producing it because it's been a lot of songs. On LTG, I think. Man,
it was crazy.
It was,
I can tell
album
you that.
Is classic.
Talk to me about working with Fireboy, particularly in that album. And did you guys know that you were making magic at that time?
Oh, yeah, we knew we were making magic. And I feel like, at that time, I'd already known that, I wasn't a stranger to making magic. So it was, it was easier. And for Fireboy, I was more excited because I found a new muse to work with. Because, I'd worked with the Olamide and the Lil Cash and, the Adekunle Gold. They are different muses. Yeah. But there was a spot that was a sound that I saw in Fireboy that I'd always wanted to, play with. Yeah. So once I saw Fireboy, I was so excited. I'm like, yes, this is my next.
Let's go.
This is my next project. Let's go. It's going. So we linked up in the studio, and like I said, there has to be a connection. So the first thing we had was a long conversation for like 2 days, just talking and just being friends, like no music whatsoever. He came to my crib, camped out, and then we just talked. Then we started working, and and then from there, song after song after song after song, we did What If I Say, boom. And then we went to Oriental Hotel, we did Scatter, boom. We did Wait and See, boom. Man, like, yeah.
Just wait and see, giving me goosebumps right there. Now that both you guys are in a position where I saw you at the BET Awards, sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
In the front row.
That was a vibe, though. That was a vibe.
What was going through your head whilst, he's on stage performing records, you're sitting in the front row at one of the most prestigious award ceremonies for Black people around the world, and you're also performing at that award ceremony. What was going through your mind? How did you feel about where you were and where you are now?
Man, this year, I've had to learn to feel new emotions because this year has been crazy. I can't even lie, man. I'm not going to come here and form no. This shit is not busting my head. It's busting my full
busting
brain.
My head.
But yeah, man. I've had to learn new emotions, and because all these emotions are new to me. Like this new high, this new fly, this new vibe and acceptance and love and energy and I'm just excited. Generally, I think that's the final feeling. It's just excitement because I've been ready for this for years. So now that I have people's ears to myself, not trying to collab with somebody or do other people's work. This is me. I can tell my story 100%. Be my own creative, make my own videos, make my own art. Tell my own story how I want to tell it. Yeah, it's go time.
Do you know the funny thing? Sure. Before Finesse, you were on a record that I just absolutely, yes, you dropped an EP last year, but you were on a record that I just completely loved your part on that record, and that's The Crown of Clay.
Oh yeah, that's a fire record.
That record for me,
that's a fire record.
Now thinking after the success of Finesse, and the way I felt with you performing in that record and appearing in that video, it almost felt like there was something coming. Did you feel that? Because not only did they give you a strong part on the song, they gave you a strong part in the video. There was a massive spotlight on you by two giants in the game, you know, two icons in Vector and MI. You talk to me about getting on that record, and did you think after that record came out that it feels like there might be something on the way?
That record is crazy, man, because I made that beat 2 years before it became that record.
Wow.
Yeah, I just had the beat on my hard drive, and then Vector hit me up and he was like, "Oh, you're like," because we had done Popular years ago, and that song still bangs till today and forever. So he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, I think we need to do this one again, and just send me some vibes." So I went through my hard drive and I got to that beat. And fun fact, I made that beat for Olamide, but I never played it for him. Sorry, bad bro.
Too many.
but yeah. So I sent it to Vector, and he wrote the rap. It was like, "Yo, I got it. Let's link up and like record." So and then he told me, "Yo, MI is pulling up as well." I'm like,
MI, that's a classic move.
Like, you guys are gonna like
do
make a record
together?
Oh yeah, nah, it's on. So we linked up, and MI recorded, Vector recorded. But I told Vector, I was like, "Yo, like, yeah, this can be a rap song or this can be a statement song. Like, there has to be something that gels it together." And because going back to how people still don't really like wanna like mess with me as a singer. It was I could see the doubt in his eyes. It was like, confused. I'm like, "Yo, don't worry, just
let me do it.
Just give me time with the song." So I took the song, went to the studio, wrote the hook, recorded that, sent it to Vector, sent it to MI, and they loved it. But Vector was still having doubts. I'm like, "Bro, I've been making songs for years. Are you going to trust me with this song?" Like, that's what I told him. Like, "Are you going to trust me with this song?" Or like, because I can also just do like you and MI part, and it just sounds like a cipher. Or do you want it to sound like a song? And I was like, "Okay, don't worry, Pheelz, I know, I trust you. So I kept my part, and that's how Crown of Clay happened. Crazy, beautiful music.
Now talk to me about Finesse. Davido had a concert in London, and one of the surprise guests was a tall brother from Lagos, formerly Pheelz, reading my cool, but now a superstar singer. 3 days after the record dropped officially.
2 days.
2 days.
2 days, actually.
The concert was happening 2 days after the official release, and you had 20,000 people in the O2 Arena singing Finesse.
Yes.
Talk to me about this song.
Man.
First of all, is it a story that you experienced? Did someone finesse you? And where did that whole thing come from?
So everything about Finesse was this year. The song, the recording, the beat. Shout out to Michael, is a producer I just signed. He made the beat for Finesse.
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of people eating on Finesse right there.
Yeah. So like everything about Finesse happened this year. We recorded the song in February. I posted the video, the snippets online the same day I recorded the song.
I saw that video.
Yeah, it was the same night. I had just finished recording Finesse, and then I'm like, boom. Because for me, it wasn't a single.
Yeah.
I was recording, and I just wanted to show the world that, yo, I'm an artist now, and like, it's on. Like I'm not. This is not Pheelz the producer. Yes, Pheelz the producer is hard though, but Pheelz the artist
is different.
No way. Watch now. Watch. You don't say me. I don't make mouth. Just watch. But so like we recorded Finesse on the in February, and I posted the video that same day, and like a few days after, it just started buzzing online. 3 days after, Buju sent me a message. It was like, yo, like, because he wanted to sample it for his record.
No way.
He thought it was just a TikTok sound that I made. So he sent me a DM and was like, yo, is this just a TikTok sound or is it an actual record? And I told him, yeah, it's my record. But because the song was done, I had the first verse, I had the second verse, I had the full Finesse.
Wow.
So I told him, but I can take out the second verse if you want to jump. If you want to jump on it. So it's like, oh my, I like this song, go, pull up, let's go. So we linked up, and then he recorded his verse, and that was how we made Finesse. And we're just trying to finish up the song, get all the paperwork in order and tidy it up. And yeah, man, like when the time was right, just dropped it.
And then how did the London situation happen? Because it dropped on Friday.
London story is long.
So what happened?
Okay, so what happened was this. So when Finesse dropped, fortunately for me, my my passport was at the UK embassy for the UK visa.
Yeah.
But I hadn't gotten it yet when the song dropped. I got the visa on the day of the show. So on the day of the show, so immediately I got the visa. I reached out to David. I was like, by this, because mind you, we had already recorded Electricity before Finesse. We made Electricity since last year.
Wow.
Electricity was supposed to be the first single for this year for me.
No way.
Yeah, but then Finesse happened and I had to pause and wait for.
So
Finesse
David already believed in Pheelz, the singer, before Finesse.
Yeah. Shout out to David.
That's a fun fact.
Shout out to David, man. David already believed earlier.
Facts.
Earlier. I sent, David a message. I was like, yo, broski, visa don't come on to it. Go do. He was like, yo, pull up now.
No way.
So, on my way to the, on my way from the, I didn't even pack a bag. On my way from the visa collection place, straight to the airport, I had to call my manager. Okay, how do we book tickets? How do we do this? How do we get, boom, airport, straight to London. I got to London at, I think 4 p.m. The show starts at 6 p.m.
Yep.
So I couldn't even, and the airport is far from everywhere. So I can't even shop. No. If you look at pictures from that O2, my hair was a mess, my face was a mess. I couldn't even shop. And you were there. See that fit that I was wearing? Yeah. That was Adekunle Gold's clothes. I swear, Adekunle Gold gave me that clothes.
That's what brothers are for.
Because that was the only person I could think of. I'm like, Gold, save me. Do you have anything I can wear? I don't care. As long as it just looks good, it's going.
That's why it's always, that's what I love about artists that are ready. When you're ready, nothing in this world can stop you.
No, clothes, hair.
Let's go.
F that. Let's go. I just wanted to stand on that stage. And even when I go backstage, a lot of people didn't want me to get on stage because I couldn't reach David. He was already on stage. So I couldn't tell him, yo, David, I'm here. How far? Put me up. So I had to rely on people backstage controlling the backstage to believe in me to get on stage. So it was even a total battle backstage because a lot of people wanted to get on stage to perform and the timing and everything. Yeah. So I literally fought who was the person that performed before me? I can't remember who performed before me.
It was Latan or something.
I can't remember. I have to check YouTube or something. But if you look at that transition,
you walked on.
I walked I didn't care who was next. The guy thought I was coming to shake him. I was like, no, bro, Mike. And then I'd already queued up Iku. Shout out to Iku, man. I'd already sent my manager to Iku's that whenever you see me, just collect the mic, tell him to just play Finesse. Because the people backstage were saying, it's just 2 days old, no one will know the song. This is a big crowd. I'm like, yo, play this shit, don't worry. So immediately I walked on stage and I saw Davido smile. I'm like, it's going
it's family.
It's family now. This is comfortable. Let's go. And David lost his mind too on stage. Because he took the mic away from him and we're just screaming at each other. He saying, yo, it's wild now.
When he walked off, he said that shit was released 2 days ago. That's what he said. Finesse has gone to become one of the big hits of Afrobeats, not only in 2022, but one of those crossover records that has gone into other genres. We've seen white people, Asian, the Caribbean, everybody going crazy. You've traveled around the world. I saw you in Jamaica, you performed at the BETs. Every celebrity in the world is singing this record. What are some of the facts on the record in terms of some of the numbers that he's done that blows your mind?
Oh man, every single one, man.
What's he saying on Spotify?
I can still remember. I don't. What's Spotify?
What was the last time? What's the last time? That's crazy, bro.
It's wild, man. The numbers are wild because I can remember being really genuinely happy and grateful for 200,000 views on YouTube, and I can also remember being really happy and grateful for 500,000, and I can remember 1 million and 10 million, and I'm like, okay, what's going on?
It
just keeps on going and going and going, man. It's just gratitude, man.
Absolutely,
it's huge. It's huge gratitude for everybody, for you, for the media houses, for the fans, for me, for the universe, for God, for everybody, for the bad bellies. For the enemies, it's all gratitude.
It's all gratitude. I'm going to throw you a couple questions before we wrap up. One, you found your way into the studio with Jimmy Iovine, with Dr. Dre.
Yeah, his name is Mayowa now. That's his name.
Yeah, you gave him Mayowa. Not only did you name him Mayowa, he said it to the camera as well.
Yeah.
You're finding yourself in the studio with P. Diddy. What the hell are you thinking
I
about,
don't know.
man? What the hell's going on, bro?
Life has been a movie since I stopped directing and became the actor. No worries, Shopsy.
Things are coming.
Things are coming. But yeah, man, like, life has been a movie, man. Like, that Dr. Dre experience is life-changing. Man, it's a lot of it is for me and it's not for the people to see. Yeah, like, a lot of it is for me. Like, it's very personal because Dre was one of those ones, like, growing up. Like, I used to copy Dr. Dre's beats just to sound like Dr. Dre. And having to, like, share his studio with him. And, you know, he listened to the next single. He loves the next single, by the way, drops in December.
Let's go.
Beautiful. He listened to that. You know, we played keys together. And, you know, I was showing,
he's on the keys.
Yeah, too. And we're, like, trading chords and we're, like, putting inversions on songs and remixing songs. And it was like, yo, you really know how to play keys. Like we were having, like, a father-son moment. Because I feel like indirectly he had mentored me for a long time. Wow. So when we finally met, it wasn't strange because I wasn't new to his vibe and his energy. Like, so it was easy for us to interact. You know, life changing, man.
You were also pulled out on stage in Ghana.
Yeah.
By one of the greatest musicians to walk the face of this earth, in Usher.
Yeah, man.
How's that relationship going? Usher is one of the best singers in the world. He called you his brother, which means, you know what I mean? If Usher's saying you're his brother, there's a relationship going.
Yeah.
There definitely has to be music going. What's happening there?
Yeah, the music is soft. It's soft.
It's soft. And it's coming soon, too.
Yeah. Hopefully it comes out soon. But the music is beautiful. We're both really excited about that. But yeah, Usher, man, like that's my bro, man. That's my big bro for sure. Fun fact: we have the same vocal coach now because he put me on his vocal coach.
No way.
Yeah, so he's been training me and yeah, man, like we were in the studio and he told me about Ghana. He was like, yo, I'm performing in Ghana for Global Citizen Fest. I'm like, bro, we need to do that. We need to do that together. You need to bring me on and let's do Finesse. And he was like, yeah, I got you. So when that happened, because he knew, like, the gravity of the music. Yep. But he didn't know the gravity of the music. Until he saw that. And backstage, we were just losing our minds and just saying, oh, yo. He was like, yo, you're a king in Africa, what? Yeah, man, that's broski, man. That's broski for sure.
You talked about the next single coming out. What is the next plan? Is it an album? When can we expect it? And what should we expect from that?
The next single drops in December.
Yep.
It's called Ballin'. It's
balling, basically.
It's balling, basically. Then there's an EP next year, and a tour next year as well.
A tour, absolutely, man. We're looking forward to that. You've had amazing moments. It's time to see you on stage. You know, the rumors are that Pheelz collected at least $4 million or $5 million for Finesse. That's what we're hearing. Pheelz, we're hearing $4 million, bro. We're hearing $5 million. What can you tell us officially on the Afrobeat Podcast? How many millions is it?
It's called a contract for a reason, Shopsy. It's fully non-disclosure.
How are your parents and the family taking this success?
Man, that's one of my favorite things about this whole thing. The family, man, like, they are having a blast right now. Thanks. Literally. You know, I've been taking my parents to experience things that they've never experienced growing up, and you know, that's like one of my missions. Like, I really want to spoil them for sure. Yeah, but they've I think they are my number one fans now because my dad downloaded Instagram just because of me.
That's amazing.
And I'm the only person he follows.
That's
so
amazing.
he knows anytime he wants to see updates about his son, that's the app he goes to.
That's brilliant.
And if I don't post for like a couple of days, he calls me like, "Sure, all right, repost here, that's what he calls it.
That's amazing.
But yeah, man, like those are my family, man. I love them forever.
And finally, you've got the new body, the new swag. You've been in the gym. You look like a model. What are the girls saying? Pheelz. What's going on? What's happening, bro? You know what I mean?
I mean, like, man, I'm just living life, man. I'm on the road, man.
I like it when young men use platforms like this to send a message to some girl that I'm on the road. Whatever you thought we had, it's not that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm busy, man. I'm working. So is that what we're sticking to?
Yeah, I'm on the road, man. Like, and Pheelz is single and like.
Wow.
I mean, like.
Wow, Chanel, you heard that? Fumi, you heard that? Anyway, listen, I'm super proud of your success. I've been a fan from day one. We've connected for a long time. I've always thought you're a genius musically, and some of the people that know you also signed to that. And it's a pleasure to see you enjoying the fruits of that 10 plus years of hard work. Final word to a young Pheelz, a young producer or artist that's about to come into the game. What would you say for them to keep in their pockets and to always go back to?
It'll be two things. The first thing would be, no one said it was going to be easy, but also no one said it was going to be impossible. Yeah, that'll be the first thing. And the second thing would be, appreciate the valleys. Like, be grateful for your down moments, because those are the moments that make those up moments make sense. Yeah, just those two things.
My brother, well said. Ladies and gentlemen, my incredible guest all the way from Nigeria.
Let's go.
Pheelz, the producer, a.k.a. Ridi Maku.
Hey.
I appreciate you, my brother, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
You're listening to Adesope Live, the Afrobeats Podcast.
Right.